Tawana Freeman, and welcome to another episode of Black Life Coaches TV. Now, obviously, there's some things have changed, but we're in a new year, so it's all about change. It's all about stepping out and doing things different as often as you can. And sometimes we use a calendar to mark transition. Well, this year, I wanted to start off with someone who understands what it means to walk in your purpose, to walk in your destiny, and that is my special guest today, Miss Kisha Lee. How are you, Kisha?
I am wonderful, Tawana. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now, I'm excited to have you on because what you do for a living is you interview people about them finding their purpose and how they discovered their purpose. So you're in the hot seat today. So it's your turn to help us understand your success and the things that have helped you along the way. So what people need to understand is that Kisha Lee has her own web show, and it's called Purpose TV, and you can find that on YouTube. I want to find out, what is it that she did? What was the formula? What was the recipe that she used to overcome her fear? So Kisha, I'm going to step out for a second and ask the question that you like to ask your guests. And that is, what does purpose mean to you?
Purpose means whatever it is that you feel that you were designed to do on this earth. In your time on planet Earth, what is it that you feel that you are supposed to do, what you feel led to do, what you feel called to do in your life? And that, to me, that's what purpose is.
And I agree with that. That's exactly the case. Now, what people do or tend to do is confuse that your purpose has to be fulfilled in a certain amount of time. So you tell me, from all your guests, I'm sure they've given you a lot of good information about purpose. So you tell me what some of the nuggets are.
I used to be all about that throughout my entire life. Like, okay, God, what is it that I'm supposed to do in my life? Ever since I was a teenager. Like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And then when I felt like I got the answer, I was like, not happy with the answer. But some of the nuggets that I got from my guests, to be comfortable in being who God says you are, who you know that you are. You have to know who you are first to pursue your purpose. At any rate, you have to know who you are, and then be comfortable and realize that you have all the power. You have God backing you in what you are called to do. So once you realize all that power is backing you, there is nothing that can stop you from pursuing what you are called to do.
That's right. For you, what the guests come on and they share their purpose, and you find all the diversity and the things that they do. A lot of your guests, though, they're famous. Some are, and some are average people, living normal lives without a bunch of cameras and a bunch of media. And so do you find a difference in the type of person just because they're famous or not?
Not at all. They went through the process just like we did. There's no limitations, on what your purpose is. And just because you're not well known or famous or out there in the public spotlight doesn't mean that you're any less in your purpose than the next person. You have to find your own. And that's really where coming into knowing who you are, where that really plays a part. Because if you feel like you have to get to a certain point, or it's got to be this big major thing, you might want to reevaluate whether it's you maybe having a little bit, putting your own little expectations on your own purpose, whether they're allowing your purpose to actually just fulfill and manifest itself. Be easy on yourself. Some people are way too hard on themselves.
Right. I agree.
They really, really, really are. I'm like, take a breath. Woosah. Take a breath. It is going to be okay. And I did get that from one of my guests. He really drove that home, and it really got in my spirit. It really, really did. And I was out of time limit. Everything happens the way it happened in the time frame that it happens for a reason. And once we really realize that and really get that into our spirits, then we can relax a little.
I agree. No, that's a great point. I think, some of the things that you have said is once you first discover who you are and recognizing that all of us are called to accomplish something great on this earth. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a high platform with 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people watching you. You can have your own limited audience and do great things. So we dispel that first myth. You don't have to be famous to follow your purpose or even to discover it. But we do know that in order for you to walk in your purpose, you must first assess your skills and your gifts and your talents. You have to know what it is that you're good at, because a lot of us will look at someone else's purpose and want to mirror what you see other people doing, and you lack everything that's necessary to accomplish that. Again, that is not knowing yourself. Knowing yourself is being able to sit down and say, what is it that I am absolutely great at? What is it that I can do that if I don't do it, I will go bananas not doing it? That's one way to look at it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Another way that I love to look at it, and I learned this years and years ago. I heard, I believe, across the pulpit, of course, someone say, the thing that drives you crazy the most, something that makes you so angry that you just want to just kick a wall,
passion,
is what you are most passionate about and what you are called to change. So if there's an issue that challenges you, sometimes you got to go for it. Create platforms to address that issue.
Yes.
What is the problem? And you deliver the solution. That's it.
Yeah.
So when you started your show and when you started on this path, what was the thing that was missing that you were seeing? You're saying, if I don't jump in here, I think somebody is going to miss some good information. What was it that you were seeing?
Oh, wow. I grew up in church, and I saw how people preached love and forgiveness, but when it came down to actually showing that, it was very little of it. It was a lot of judgmental comments and things that were made, and a lot of times that actually ran people away from the church rather than bringing them in to the church. And every time I saw that happen, it hurt me so bad. It almost hurt me to the point where I felt like it happened to me. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you guys doing? Stop doing that. And then I was like, you know what? There's nothing that everybody done perfectly. Everybody has made mistakes and haven't made the best decision in their lives. So what? It's not the end of the world. But for someone to actually go to the point of lashing someone, that got to me. And actually growing up, seeing people in church who were the most miserable people I've ever seen in my entire life. They had a almost carved in frown on their face. Like they didn't display
no happiness. Happiness.
Not at all. And I was like, how can we know what we know and not experience any happiness? I didn't get it. So as a young person, I just really, I had a huge strive for happiness and wanting to know what that is and what that feels like and how do you achieve that. Because it's going around with so much unhappiness, I'm like, I got to know what this is. I got to do something about this. And so really my driving force for this platform and with purpose and everything is also encouraging and uplifting and motivating people to be happy as well. What point is it to be on this earth, live this in this beautiful earth and all these years on this planet, and then live it unhappily with knowing who God is and knowing all that we can be, actually reading the word and actually believing what it says, because we can say it all day long. Asking it shall be given, and all of these scriptures that we quote and we throw out and we throw it. It's that moment of yes, hallelujah, and then go home. You don't really believe it.
Kisha, you are so right. And you know what? The reason why, that's why you're a guest to our show. And the reason for it is because you hit the nail on the head. So many people are living this life unhappy. They are walking a walk that, and I wrote a book called Purposeful Action, 7 Steps to Fulfillment. Fulfillment is my thing. So you and I are in the same way. Yes. What makes you happy? What are the things that you look at in the world, whether it's in nature, whether it's in a living being? What is it just makes you just appreciate the miracle of life? What is it? Sometimes it can be art. Sometimes it can be music. Sometimes it can be just something as simple as my puppies, my cats. Whatever that is, that's what you connect to. And you grow and you live and you learn more about yourself, knowing what brings you joy. And people believe that all they need is just to read scripture every day. Reading words off of paper every day, they will not come to life if they're not exercised and applied.
That's right.
So when you hear the word, you have to put the word into action. Right. Just like the word faith is an action word. You just don't say, I have faith. You have to actually operate faith. You have to believe what it is that you are looking for. And you have to take steps, actionable steps to get it. That's why purpose is such a big thing. Because, I appreciate the fact you have your show, because you learned early on that people are unhappy and people's passion and purpose somehow have to come together. They have to meet somewhere. And how do I fix that? And you discovered your purpose by solving a problem. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
So with all that, and I know some people are really inspired by you. You have a wonderful personality. You do great work, and I'm so glad to have met you. What are the next things that are in store for you?
Well, I have a segment that I'm going to put on the website because I've been through a lot. I'm actually going to document some of my struggles or some things that I've been through, from divorce to rape to attempted suicide, all those things, really to let people know that you are not alone in what you have been through. And of course, we hear it a lot, but it's more personal. I am going to be a wide open book, and that is, wide open and the ugly. There's some people that might be like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. But you know what? Even when I was going through the things that I was going through and making the bad choices that I was making, and I knew even then that I would be using that somehow to help somebody else. Even then, honestly, because I knew that, it was easier for me to overcome those things. And trust me, they were very hard. I'm very, very hard. But you know what? I'm here to fulfill this purpose. And I know that. I've known that for a very long time. So I don't mind being an open book. I don't mind being extremely transparent. Because you know what? I don't care if me being transparent helps one person to overcome their struggles, then it was all worth it to me. I know that it's my purpose anyway. So I know that people are going to be healed and people are going to be set free and delivered, and they're going to be okay and live happier lives from what I'm doing. I know that. Because why I know that? Because I know I'm living my purpose. I know I am who I am. I know who God made me to be. And everybody has to get to that point where you're confident. You don't question at any point, at any turn, who you are. You go forth knowing who God is in you, knowing the authority that you have, knowing that you are a creator in your own right, that God has given all this authority to you. You can go forth and accomplish anything. There is nothing that we cannot do. Nothing. And once we really believe that, and once we conquer the fear factor, then wide open. The world is our oyster. It really is. So that video documentation is what I'm going to be doing. Also, I'm going to do another another Purpose TV interview session, and also the spotlights of the website as well, which is the Person of the Week articles and stuff that I do.
Yes.
I'm so in love with what I do. God.
But you know what, Kisha, that's it. And that's the reason why I had you on, because I wanted people to experience the passion and you being as excited as you are. It translates. This is what it looks like when you're in your zone, when you're where you're supposed to be. This is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. And so I don't want people running out and saying, well, I put all my business in the street like Kisha. No, you don't. No, you don't.
That's my call.
Please don't. Exactly. That is what she is called to do. She is called to be transparent. Her experiences will be delivered in a platform that allow people to hear her testimony so that they can be delivered. It is not for you to go out and put your business in the street, because if you push yourself to that level, you might find yourself in a whole lot of trouble. Not a good place to be. I'm going to tell you straight away, Tawana's not going to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm not that transparent in the public. I'm going to be transparent to my family and the people that I love, but so that you ain't going to know all that. That's not going to happen.
You're
but
right.
That's what you call to do, honey, and I'm going to root you on. You go, girl.
Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it.
No, but Kisha, this is what she said that you probably may have missed. She is in Raleigh, North Carolina. And you can find her on her website. Again, iliveonpurpose.com. And, of course, on her YouTube channel, Purpose TV, right? Did I get it right?
Yes.
So she would love to hear from you. And please follow her, because she needs more love and support. Please come back and be a part of our show.
Absolutely.
And when I'm downtown, when I'm down in Raleigh, we're going to hook up. Okay.
Promise.
I promise. Oh, yeah, you got it.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I think a big key, and a lot of things that people look past and don't realize in almost the panic of, I got to find my purpose, so much that they almost forget to relax. And they really need to actually relax. I've learned that recently, actually. I used to be all